What is constructor chaining? So one constructor calling another constructor, in turn that constructor is called another constructor. So chain is what? Chain is like this. One is connected to another, the other is connected to another, like this. This goes around and on. So constructor chaining is when the constructor calling goes on and on. So in object-oriented programming, constructor chaining is a sequence of invoking constructors or calling constructors of the same class upon initializing an object. When you initialize the object, number of constructors are getting called one by one. It is used when we want to invoke number of constructors, one after the other, by using only one instance. That is, when we are making an object, we are not interested in calling constructors one by one. We are just saying that let me call one constructor and let that constructor call the other constructor one by one. So if a class has more than one constructor that is overloaded and one of them tries to invoke another constructor, this process is known as constructor chaining. In C++, it is known as one more name is there. It is called as constructor delegation. Constructor chaining is also called constructor delegation. It is present in C++ from C++11. Okay, take an example. Here we have a class called student, and since we have three constructors here, you can just recall that the name of the constructor and the class will be same. So now this is a default constructor, nothing is given here. Now we have a constructor, we have you can say we have defined it. So you have an input which is string, and now we have this here, this call itself. Okay, now we have another constructor which has one string, one integer. Again we have this here. So whenever we create an object, we have created an object here, student. So we have created an object of our class, and we have passed two parameters, one is string, one is integer. So where it is going to go? It is going to call the constructor by itself. New operator will definitely call a constructor. So this will be called. All the work will be done, all the instruction will be executed, but the last is this name. So this means it is going to call the constructor, but what is the parameter? Name, string. So it is going to call the constructor which is shown just above, this one. Now again the instruction will be executed. Now at the last we have this. So it is going to call constructor with no parameter. So it is going to call default constructor. So this is how the chain is formed, and chain of constructor is formed. That is why it is called as constructor chaining or constructor delegation.